Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, biffers and boffers and brandy bucks. Welcome back to Flying Solo's progression series once again. At the return to Mirkwood. Well, I suppose that makes us the return to Mirkwood. Because if you were here yesterday to witness any of this, you would see that we got totally murked in Mirkwood. It was awful, it was unfair, it was coarse, it was rough, and it got everywhere. I was playing dwarfs. I have abandoned that idea in terms of a much more stealth-oriented deck. So everything that comes out of this encounter deck was bad. We ran into hill trolls, the adder cops, raising our threat by 8, dealing damage and killing each of our... We died in any way, a multitude of different ways. Any way that you can imagine dying in this game, it happened to us yesterday. And here we go again. We persist. I have switched the deck. We're using Eowyn, who I wanted to get away from at least once in this progression, but now she's made an appearance in every single quest. She's just that good. Denethor, so we can exhaust him to look at the top card of the encounter deck and move it to the bottom if we want. And Hobbit hero, Frodo Baggins. This is a much lower threat cost deck, and we are going to be playing some encounter deck manipulation in hopes of sneaking through for a quick and painless victory, trying to avoid combat at all costs. Enough with the jibber jabber. Let's get down to business by giving our heroes their resources and touching the One Ring for luck. Bring me luck, bring me luck. I died 8 times yesterday. I could put up with a few more defeats, but I really just want to get through this. I want to get through this so we can move on to Khazad-dûm, which I feel is a much better designed set than this one. Let's read this again. Through the forest, having captured Gollum, you must now escort him through Mirkwood Forest for interrogation at Thranduil's palace. Search the encounter deck for Gollum and choose a player. I am the only player, so he's with me. Place him in front of that player, shuffle the encounter deck, and reveal 1 card per player, then add it to the staging area. And this place requires 12 progress to get through. So let's give this a quick shuffle. The Truffle Shuffle. Here it comes. Okay. So we'll reveal our top card and we'll get to work. We're going to be putting in work today. A 1, a 2. Uh-oh. Knocked down the camera. What do you know? Yes, I was nervous. I'm nervous. I'm nervous coming back in here. So, I knocked over the camera. Whatever. Mirkwood bats. After they engage a player, we deal 1 damage to each player guarding Gollum, which is me. 1 damage to each character, so that's going to be rough considering Frodo has 2 hit points. And Addercop, the biggest and baddest monster in the entire set. I'm going to call this a wipe. That's loss number 1 of the day. And we're going to just shuffle these in and start again. I don't know ethically if this is how you, loyal viewer, like to play the game, but too bad. I've been beaten and bruised already so much that I can't start with the toughest monster in the set. Mountains of Mirkwood. Reveal the top card of the encounter deck and add it to the staging area to travel here. It has 2 threat, and it has 3... we need to put 3 progress on it to clear it. 3 threshold, we'll call it. And after we explore this, we can look at the top 5 cards of our deck and add it to our hand. Silver, you're the only loyal viewer I got, and I love you for it. I will cheat the system within reason, but I will never quit. I'll be here until I finish the game or I die. Escort from Edoras, Test of Will, Ancient Matham, the Westfold Horse Breeder, Gandalf Greyhelm, a Westroad Traveler, and a Forest Snare. All of these cards are going to be quite important pieces. I put up quite a funny, if you go to my YouTube channel there, Silver, I put up quite a funny compilation video of my multitude of deaths that we suffered yesterday. Ancient Matham can go on any location that will allow us to draw 3 cards. So let's do this first. Let's put the Ancient Matham on the Mountains of Mirkwood. Then we'll get through the mountains, and we'll get to draw a few cards and a card from its ability. Okay, we're going to utilize Denethor pretty much the entire game. So we're going to exhaust him to look at the top card of the deck and move it to the bottom if we so choose. It's the Wood Elf's Path. After we travel here, we can choose a new player to guard Gollum. Well, guess what? There is no other player, but we like that location quite a bit. So we know what we're going to get. So we will quest Eowyn and Frodo Baggins for 6. And we will reveal our location. Denethor is such a clutch card in solo. 3 in the staging area. We have 6, so we're putting 3 on the quest. The 24 threat we're using today is a lot more manageable than the 31 we had yesterday. And we will travel to the Mountains of Mirkwood, but to do that we must reveal the top card of the encounter deck. Now every time I do this I'm getting a little nervous because there are so many deadly cards. And this is one of them. Deal 4 damage to a hero controlled by the player guarding Gollum. And that will kill any one of my heroes or I can take 4 threat and deal it all to Frodo. Instead, I'm going to burn off my first test of will and get rid of that. So that's gone. I don't know if that was the smartest thing to do, but we have done it. So, because we're guarding Gollum, we must raise our threat by 4 at the end of the phase, and our normal, by an extra 3. So our normal 1, and that puts us at 28. I don't know if you can see the dice, but I will call out the threat numbers like a bingo. Bingo! 28 threat. We draw Strider's Path. After a location is revealed, immediately travel to the location without resolving its travel effect. That will help with those Blightlands that gave us such trouble yesterday. And we'll add a resource to each of these heroes. We want to build up to get that Forest Snare if we need it. I can bring the Escort for Edoras and try and just power through this. I mean, I guess that's what he's here for. If I commit him to the quest, I have to throw him away. Well, he's on the table anyway. I think I finally got this camera set up the way I like it. We'll exhaust Denethor and take a sneak peek. A Hill Troll! Well, guess what? That's going to the bottom of the deck. And we will commit Eowyn for 4, Frodo for 2, and Escort from Edoras for 4 for 10. Because we want to get through that Mountains of Mirkwood and get our juicy rewards from the Ancient Matham as soon as we can. So now we don't know what this is. It could be anything. Spider's Ring. Well, the Spider's Ring is the active location. The player guarding Gollum cannot change. I'm the only one playing the game. Alright, so I ain't going anywhere. Alright, so we're going to count our 10 willpower against the 4 in the staging area, giving us 7 for the quest. The Mountains of Mirkwood require 3. So here we go. The first thing that's going to happen here is that we are going to resolve the Mountains of Mirkwood's response after it leaves play as an explored location. First, we'll take Ancient Matham and draw 3 cards. A hearty reward. A 1, Escort from Edoras, Unexpected Courage, Test of Will. Then we'll look at the top 5 cards of the deck and choose 1 to take. So we're going to take... We'll take the Gladrum's Greeting. I have a little bit of jank with this set. With this deck here. I've got Song of Kings, so we could sneak attack in Gandalf and get Steward of Gondor, but we haven't seen that come up and yet no way to get it, so we might as well just take the Gladrum's Greetings while we have it. Now we have a nice big hand. And that'll go to the discard pile, and so will the Mountains of Mirkwood, so that's 3, so we can put 4 more progress on the quest. which means we are now at 7 out of 12. I already feel so much more confident about what's happening here than where we were at yesterday. All right, that is shuffled. And we will travel. So we'll travel to the Spider's Ring. We cannot give Golem to another player, but of course, I am a lonely gamer, and we are doing this by ourselves. So instead, let's give our resources to our heroes. Right, and let's take a look. Well, we definitely need Unexpected Courage. This is going to make Denethor our lead blocker as well if anything comes out of the deck. And we're at the mercy of Test of Will here. For now. We have no spirit resource to play Test of Will. Oh, and the Escort of Edoras was on the quest, so he's got to leave. Okay. Let's do it to it. Grammar, that is. Let's take a look at the top card of the deck. A Surging Wolf Rider. Well, we're going to put him on the bottom. We're going to use Unexpected Courage and Denethor again to look at the next card. The Spider's Ring. We're going to keep that. This almost feels like cheating, although we can get caught. You know we can get caught. So 6 progress towards the quest, and we will... Oh, we're at 32 threat, by the way. We will reveal the top card, Spider's Ring. We're at the Spider's Ring. We've drawn a Spider's Ring, so 4 threat in the staging area, which we can put 2 progress on the ring, which will clear it, and we'll travel to the next ring. We will end our turn going to 36 threat. It is getting up there. Draw a card. A Fast Hitch. A resource for each of our heroes. A 1, 2, 3. We'll use the Fast Hitch on Frodo. Chinese version of Fast Hitch. Take a look at that. It's pretty cool. So now this will... Any Hobbit can ready. Just like Unexpected Courage, but only for Hobbits. So if he's exhausted, we can pop him right back up and ready him. Okay, so we will commit Frodo and Eowyn again for 6 and use Denethor to look at the top card of the deck. Addercop. We will move that to the bottom and use Denethor, Unexpected Courage, and use him again to look at the next card. Addercop. Wow, either one of those would have been lethal. They're both down to the bottom, which means we are at the mercy of whatever the deck wishes to throw at us now. Let us see what it's got in store for our heroes. Woodman's Glade. This is all right. So 2 threat, 2 threshold. The player guarding Golem must exhaust a hero to travel here, so we can't travel there this turn. After exploring, reduce each other player not guarding Golem's threat by 2. So that has absolutely nothing for us. But we have 6, 3 in the staging area, so 5 will clear this, allowing us to put 1 progress on the quest. Not so good. 5, 6, 7, 8. I suppose we're going to discard one of... Here's what we're going to do. We're going to travel to the Wood Elf's path. And we're going to end our turn going to 40 threat and drawing a card. A West Road Traveler again. So, we'll get our resources, we'll cash in. 1, 2, 3. And we'll use the West Road Traveler, we'll bring her in for 2, and we'll use her ability to switch the Woodman's Glade, which we normally would need to exhaust a hero, for the Wood Elf path. So we'll just make a little sneaky switch, and we'll leave our other resources. We'll look at the top card with Denethor. Each player discards all event cards in hand. So we would lose, well, we'd lose a Test of Will and another card. If we could Test of Will it, we'll put it on the bottom. And we'll use Denethor again after Unexpected Courage. Wargs. If they're dealt a shadow card with no effect, return them to the staging area. Do we want to deal with these wargs? I think they are okay. It's tough, because our deck is not built for fighting. Let's put it on the bottom. and try and get another location. So this time we're questing for 8. This should clear the quest, unless this is something awful. Caught in a web. The player with the highest threat level attaches this card to one of his heroes. This hero cannot ready unless you pay 2 resources from his pool. So we are going to test a will that. That's gone. And our 8 against the 1 in the staging area is enough to clear the Woodman's Glade and finish through the forest. So we move to stage 2. I'm getting nervous. Escape attempt. As soon as he thinks that no one is watching, Gollum attempts to slip his bonds and escape. The player guarding Gollum cannot commit characters to the quest unless he is the only player remaining in the game. If the player's quest unsuccessfully, Gollum escapes and the players have lost the game. So we cannot quest unsuccessfully. We're not going to quest unsuccessfully anyway. Only 3 progress points, so we'll move to the Wood Elf path. And look at that, an empty staging area. But we go to 44 threat, and we know from yesterday that the next quest 3A and 3B, the third quest of 4, will not allow us to play cards. So after we cash all our heroes up here, 1, 2, 3, and to draw a card, another forest snare, we are going to play the Gladrim's Greeting and reduce our threat by 6 to 38. Then we are going to, excuse me, then we're going to play Gandalf for all 5 and reduce our threat by another 5 to 33. And then we are going to exhaust Denethor to look at the top card of the deck. Caught in a web. It's not bad. I mean, we have Frodo with the fast hitch. So we're just going to take the web. So Eowyn, Frodo, Westro, Traveler, Gandalf, we're questing for about 50. We'll put the web on Frodo, who can ready himself with the fast hitch. And we are through the Wood Elf path and finished escape attempt to the Elven King's Hall. The player guarding Gollum cannot play cards from his hand. And this requires us, well, let's read the flavor text here. Having thwarted Gollum's escape attempt, you tighten his rope and push on through Mirkwood to Thranduil's palace. I cannot play cards from my hand. Gandalf is gone. We go to 37 threat, and we exhaust the fast hitch to ready Frodo. So fast hitch is finished. We still draw a card. We still take our resources. And we still use Denethor to look at the top card of the encounter deck and hope for a location. Because this only has 7 progress, so we've got to get through it quickly. Mountains of Mirkwood, location. We'll take it. All right. Now we're going to quest for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And Denethor is going to use Unexpected Courage. So that's on top of the deck. To ready. And quest again. So that's 9 total. Mountains of Mirkwood has 2 threat, and so that means we can put 7 threat on the Elven King's Halls, which means we pass it. Oh boy. Ambush. As you make the final push to Thranduil's palace, your enemies make a desperate attempt to ambush your party and seize Gollum for themselves. At the beginning of the combat phase, all enemies in play engage the player guarding Gollum. Players cannot defeat this stage if there are any enemies in play. If we defeat the stage, we win the game 2 threshold points. So I think we've done it. We're ready, everybody. We'll raise our threat to 41. I think we've done it. Knock on wood. We draw a hasty stroke. We'll exhaust the fast hitch to ready Frodo. Resources here. And we're not going to travel the mountains of Mirkwood, as we can quest over top of this big time. So let's use Denethor first to see what we're dealing with before we decide what to play. Addercop, a third one. Denethor is sending right to the bottom of the deck. We'll use Unexpected Courage and look again at a Goblin Sniper. We would have to kill him to win the game. Knowing that we have to kill him, we are going to bring out Hanemarth River Song. We're holding a hasty stroke. We only have a total of 2 attack points. Now this could get hairy. 1, 2. Okay. Well, we can ready Denethor for 3. So if we bring in the Westfold Horse Traveler, we can discard her to ready Denethor, which will give us a 3rd attack point. So I suppose that is what we're going to do. We'll quest with Eowyn and the West Road Traveler for 6. And we reveal the Goblin Sniper. He has 0 defense and 2 hit points, so he's basically going to die. So during the encounter phase, players cannot engage the Goblin Sniper if there are any other enemies in the staging area. There's not. He's the only one. If Goblin Sniper's in the staging area at the end of the combat phase, each player deals 1 point of damage to a character he controls. Okay, so we have 6 to the quest. There are 4 in the staging area, so we put the 2 progress that we need to complete the quest on it. So this quest is finished. But we need to wipe all enemies. So we will optionally engage the Goblin Sniper, bringing our first enemy of the game to the staging area. We will take the Goblin Sniper's attack undefended. Yes. Undefended attack. Defending player must choose and exhaust 1 character he controls, or 2 if this was undefended. Well, we're holding a hasty stroke, which we will use right now to cancel that shadow effect. So we must assign 2 damage. So we will assign it to Denethor. So we cannot let the Lady Eowyn or the Little Hobbit get hurt. Denethor is kind of a prickly pear. Anyway. Now, we will discard the Westfold Horsebreaker to ready Denethor and to swing with Frodo for 1, Denethor for 2, Hanemarth Riversong for 3. That Goblin Sniper is down. After 8 unsuccessful attempts yesterday, you are looking at a successful return to Mirkwood board, thus completing the first cycle of the Lord of the Rings LCG. Join us next time as we go deep down to Khazad-dûm. Wake the dwarves. Tell your wives we may not be coming home. This has been Flying Solo. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you next time. Like and subscribe.